We are officially back for DaBearsDen Network Season 2. Let's break down that Bears-Dolphins preseason Week 1 game. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back into DaBearsDen, an NFL podcast with a Chicago Bears first focus. I'm your host, Alex, and we are back. We are back for the second year of DaBearsDen Network. Super excited. This is going to be a fantastic year. This is going to be a great year of growth for the channel. This is going to be an awesome year interacting with you guys, and this is going to be just a fantastic season all around for the NFL and seemingly for the Chicago Bears. Here today to break down the preseason game, Week 1 against Miami, ending in a tie, 24-24. Win-loss in the preseason, not really that much of a deal, right? There's a lot that you can take away, and normally, for those that are new, in my game breakdowns, I usually like to go through the stats and everything like that, but for the preseason, I don't really think that's imperative to do. There's some things that I want to talk about, and I think that there is a lot to look forward to. I feel very good after the preseason yesterday. And yes, I get it. It's preseason. The backups were playing. We had a couple starters in, right? Luther Burden was playing. Tyreek Stevenson was playing. Colston Loveland played a series, I believe. So there were some starters in there, but backups in there aside, there's some things that I saw that make me feel very confident that this is going to be a fun season. Now, I hope that this is going to be a good season for the Bears, right? I hope that this is a team that can find their way to, at the very minimum, a winning season. But playoffs for me is the goal this year because I think that this team can do it, right? If we think about it 2 years ago, right, 2023, with Justin Fields and Matt Eberflus, that team was 7-10. That team was actually pushing for a playoff spot late in the season, right? They just had a really terrible 0-4 start. The roster was better last year, but the coaching got significantly worse, so the team took a step back, only won 5 games. I expect this team to be able to make the playoffs this year. Whether it's a wild card seed, I think that they could win the division. I'm not sure if I'm predicting that yet. I will have my prediction videos coming out later this month as we kind of ramp up the videos back to the start of the season. But this is a team that probably should be in the playoffs, assuming Caleb Williams does not have the biggest sophomore slump of all time. Because what we saw from Caleb Williams in his rookie year was extremely promising. 3,500 yards, the fourth longest streak ever in NFL history without throwing a pick, right? Set the rookie record for that, set a bunch of rookie Bears records, 20 touchdowns, 6 picks. It's a very promising rookie season. And with the coaching staff and the way that things played out yesterday, I feel very confident that Caleb's going to take the big jump. And let me explain why, right? Ben Johnson. Obviously, the big addition, right? We got the coach. We got the coach that everyone wanted. All these teams that had fired their head coaches after last year and were looking for a new coach, they wanted Ben Johnson. And we got him. And it kind of feels like a fever dream because I feel like prior to the drafting of Caleb Williams, I felt like every single time that I wanted someone, whether it was a coach or a player on the Bears, we never got them. Never happened, right? Except for Cole Kmet. I called actually in 2020, watching the draft with my fam, that the Bears were going to draft Cole Kmet. So that was cool. But other than that, I feel like every time there's a draft pick, there's a player that I want, never take him. Never take him, never get him. Gets picked before, the Bears pass on him, whatever. But the Bears got Caleb Williams, number one. The quarterback that everyone in the draft wanted, that was drafting a quarterback. And then the next season, we get the coach that everyone wanted. And it was so nice to sit there yesterday and watch an NFL offense. An NFL level offense. And I get it. Like I said, there's backups. Miami's playing backups. But I'm looking at it in a different lens, right? I'm looking at the motions pre-snap. I'm looking at the formations. I'm looking at the play actions from under center and how Ben Johnson is running a play from a formation where it's a run from under center. And the next play, we're running a similar formation, but it's actually play action from under center. And I'm sitting there watching these plays being run, and it's guys being schemed wide open. It's actual NFL routes as opposed to, hey, run 5 yards, stop and turn around, right? There was a time, it was Matt Nagy and under Matt Eberflus, where a lot of our offense was 5, 6 yard hitch routes, right? All four receivers and tight ends. Go run 5, 6 yards, turn around. Stop and turn around. And our quarterback is going to pick which one he likes and who's open, and we're going to just throw it. And there was a time last year where we were starting in, we were wasting first down, right? And that wasn't the case yesterday, right? Like, I saw an offense that was consistently getting yardage on runs. Every single screen yesterday went for positive yards. That's new. That is new for the Bears, right? We've suffered as Bears fans for the last 7, 8 years of watching screens go backwards and watching screens result in turnovers and watching screens result in incomplete passes. But not yesterday. The ball was out quick and the screens resulted in 4, 5, 6, 7 yards. That's Ben Johnson. You have a team that seemingly looked very, very dialed in, right? Very committed. You saw good effort all around, right? There is a play where it was when the Bears were going towards the south end zone, Kyle Monunga is fighting for a first down. And Luther Burden is there blocking on the play. And he is giving incredible effort. Do we remember the days 2 years ago of Chase Claypool and his effort? Right? Like, it's not even comparable where this team is now with this coaching staff, looking back, right? The difference is unbelievable. And like I said, it's preseason, right? But these are things that you notice. You notice things in preseason that transfer to the regular season, good or bad, right? Like last year, there were some things, right? Some bad play calls, penalties, so on and so forth. The Bears played a relatively clean game yesterday, and I think that says a lot about the coaching staff on both sides of the ball. And so that has me very, very excited. The defense, Dennis Allen, welcome to the Chicago Bears. Very, very excited to have him. The thing that arguably makes me the most excited for this season, actually, came late in the fourth quarter when it was fourth and, I want to say 13, fourth and 14 for Miami. And Quinn Ewers was under center. And I think he was in shotgun maybe. And what does Dennis Allen do on a fourth and long situation? Does he rush three and play to cover like our former head coach? Or does he blitz and send the house and not give the young quarterback any time to think and gets a sack? Yeah. Dennis Allen sent the heat. And guess what? Quinn Ewers took a sack because he was overloaded physically by our defensive players and he was overloaded mentally because he had no time to throw the ball. Imagine if we had Dennis Allen as defensive coordinator last year against Washington. Our entire season could have been different. Because when it's fourth and long, you don't rush three guys and give the quarterback all day, right? Because your secondary can't cover forever. That's a golden rule. The corners can't cover forever. That's why you never see people run the Madden type defense in real life where they drop 11 in the coverage. You just don't do that because it's stupid. Someone will get open eventually. You send pressure. And so that has me extremely excited. We have a defensive coordinator that seemingly knows what he's doing. And it reminded me a lot of when the Bears were playing in 2018. This is something that I won't forget because it changed the way that I saw how to cover Hail Marys. But when the Bears were playing Arizona week 3 in 2018, Josh Rosen had the ball, Hail Mary scenario, last play of the game, and Vic Fangio sent a heavy blitz, like 6, 7, 8 guys. And it resulted in a sack. And so that felt very reminiscent of that yesterday, seeing Dennis Allen do that. And that has me very, very excited that we are competent on defense. First drive of the game for Miami, they kind of marched down the field, got into the red zone, and the Bears defense did not break, and they had a huge stop by Noah Sewell on fourth down, on fourth and goal. That's encouraging, right? That's encouraging. Bend, don't break. Red zone defense all day looked very, very strong, and so that's very, very exciting. I think that that's going to be really good, and just really really great things on offense and defense. Then you get to special teams. Cairo Santos, whose previous long was 56 yards, kicked a 57 yarder yesterday, and it looked like it would have been good from probably 60 plus. So that to me is extremely encouraging as well, because my biggest gripe with Cairo Santos over the past few years wasn't his accuracy. He's one of the most accurate kickers in the league. It's the fact that his range was extremely limited, and if we needed a long field goal in a clutch scenario, we weren't going to have that opportunity. But it seems like he's worked on the leg strength, and that's not going to be an issue anymore. And now his long of 57 yesterday is not going to count because it was a preseason game, but extremely, extremely encouraging there that one of his, big weaknesses of his game seemingly has been ironed out, right? So that's very important as well. I think that this is going to be a fun season, right? Even if the Bears were to not make the playoffs, right, and fall short of my personal expectations, I think this is going to be a fun season. It's always kind of a fun season for me when there's a new head coach. Things are different. The culture's different. The team, is fighting for their head coach because all of the players at this time are bought in, right? It's very different from a coach that's on the hot seat where some of the players are kind of checked out. They don't really enjoy playing for this coach anymore. You're getting full effort from everybody, and so it's going to be a fun season regardless. I do think that there will be some hiccups early, right? I think that the Bears start, they start week 1 against Minnesota, week 2 against Detroit. That's kind of an unfavorable schedule when you have a new coach, right? Just because there's going to be some things that need to be ironed out. And I think that Caleb will have some ups and downs again this year. That's to be expected by most second-year quarterbacks. So I think that probably the first quarter, the first 6 weeks of the season, there will be some ups and downs. I don't expect the Bears to come out extremely hot, but I do expect them to look pretty good at times. I think that they will win week 1. That is a prediction that I'm set in. But I do believe that this should be a very fun season. I think that come around week 7, week 8, kind of as we enter, late October, Halloween time, going into November, I think that they will have the majority of things figured out, and I think that they will be able to start making a strong push for the postseason. So very, very encouraging things yesterday. Again, it ends in a tie. Preseason doesn't really matter that much. As far as it goes with the Bears, past couple seasons, they've won all of their preseason games, and we've seen what that means when it's time to play real football. And I think historically, when the Bears actually don't win a lot of their preseason games, their season actually turns out to be pretty solid. So I don't know what it means when the Bears tie. I guess we'll see. Maybe it means a Super Bowl championship this year, right? But no, honestly, just very, very excited. I'm very, very grateful that it seems like we have adults leading the coaching staff. And it seems to me, too, there is a very different energy on the coaching staff this year. There's so much energy and excitement from all these different positional coaches and everyone. And I think that's what happens when you hire former players that actually did something in the NFL, you know, as part of your coaching staff, right? They can relate with the players and they care just as much, if not more, than the players, right? They want what's best for the players. They know how to help the players because they can relate to the players, and so that is something that excites me very much as well. I'm very, very happy that we were able to snag Antoine Randall L from Detroit. I think he's such a fantastic personality. I think he's a great, great coach, and I think that he is going to really do great things with our receiving room. It was really great seeing Luther Burden out there, had a really big catch on a 3rd and long. And, it's interesting to see what the Bears are going to do at left tackle this year. I think that Braxton Jones is going to probably end up the backup. He had a kind of rough showing yesterday on the touchdown that Tyson Bagent threw into the back of the end zone. Braxton Jones gave up the pressure, so practically instantly, and so that's why Tyson was pressured on that touchdown throw. And I believe the play or two before where Bagent got sacked, that was also given up by Braxton Jones. And Ozzie Trapilo, the rookie, looked really good yesterday, so I think that he's probably going to end up winning that left tackle battle. And there's a world where Braxton Jones could potentially be traded, right? But that's we got to evaluate more. We got to see kind of through the rest of the preseason and things like that. But that's something to keep an eye on for sure. It was great seeing Luther Burden, like I said. It was great seeing Colson Loveland make a catch out there. Always love seeing the rookies kind of get in there, get their feet wet, and you know, have an impact and see how they are doing with the offense and everything. So really exciting stuff yesterday. Really looking forward to this coming week against Buffalo. We'll get to see hopefully Caleb Williams get some snaps, and you know, we'll get to see Mitch Trubisky on the other side too, which is always fun watching former Bears quarterbacks in the preseason. That's something that I've always kind of enjoyed, and yeah, so that's it for this video. I appreciate you guys tuning in. As always, if you're new here, please hit that like button and drop a subscription. It really helps me out. We are going to have a great year of growth on this channel, and it will be all because of you guys. I really appreciate all the support that we had in the first season. I'm really looking forward to you know, another great season here, another fantastic season of football, the best sport in the world, and hopefully a really great year for the Chicago Bears. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys as always. I will see you in the next video. Bear down. Take care. Peace.